Hello everybody, this is Bonnie Barker. I'm with Bonnie Bay Crochet and welcome to Friday Fun Live. We got lots of fun things lined up. I've got a lot of fun things to show you. Let me go ahead and make sure my computer is muted. Make sure I'm live. It looks like it's good, guys. Always got my fingers crossed with technology. Hopefully this will be a good week. We actually upgraded the internet here in South Carolina by a little bit, so I'm hoping that'll help get rid of some of those glitches that we've had in the past. Let me go ahead and skip this. And it looks like we have, oh, there we are live. Looks like we have a lot of people in the chat this morning. Let me just go ahead and just want to take a few minutes to greet you all before we get into our agenda here, which is a lot going on. I want to say hey to Joni. She says she's working on the shell baby blanket, making into a lap blanket for a local nursing home. God bless. How wonderful, Joni. That is such a great idea. I actually made a shell baby, not a baby blanket, but a shell blanket in a solid color for my mom. She's no longer with us, but she used that so much, and I know whoever you make this for, they're going to greatly appreciate it there at the home. I want to say hi to Deanna. Hi, Deanna and Jenny. She says, thank you for sharing your impeccable talents. Oh my goodness. Thank you, Jenny, for your kind comments. You guys just don't know how much your comments just are keeping me going during this pandemic and living apart from my husband, not by choice, but in order to serve. You all know that. But I get to see him tomorrow, Lord willing. He's traveling down, so yay. We get to spend about a week together, half a week or something like that. So I'm going to take whatever I can get. So real excited about that. Thank you for joining us, Brandon. And let's see, Brandon says, I look forward to this every week, but often miss a lot due to work. Well, it's a good thing to work, isn't it? Hopefully today I won't miss any. Well, I will try to talk quickly, and hopefully you won't miss any, Brandon. But thank you for taking time out of your busy day. That's a blessing to me. And it looks like Esther, she dropped by earlier. I don't know if you're still here, Esther, but tell your mom I said hey. She's not going to be able to stay with us throughout the whole chat, but hopefully Hannah will be joining us soon from Maryland so she can help with the administration of the chat. Hi, Bobby. Thank you for joining us. I'm hoping you're doing well. You're in my prayers, buddy. You know that. Bobby is adjusting to his new home, and if you guys want to pray for him, I know he'd greatly appreciate that. And Jan, good morning. Thanks for joining us. She's so cute. She says she misses Esther. Esther is such a sweetheart. And Jan said, oh, she says, it was wonderful seeing you on Tuesday with the Crochet World Live Facebook chat. 2 days in 1 week. Yes. For those of you who didn't know, I was on the Facebook page of Crochet World Magazine on Tuesday, and I think that's still playing in their in their list, in their lineup. Thank you so much for joining me for that one, because you guys really helped to boost the numbers on that. So thank you. That really kind of makes me look good, with the publisher. So thank you so much for your support there. And I've got another one coming up. Let me see, what day is it? October 7th. That's a Wednesday at noon. This again is on Facebook Live. It's on Crochet World Magazine's page. And I'm going to be talking about the mandala, the Celtic mandala throw, and stuff that you probably already know about. But I'm going to be maybe doing a stitch demonstration on that one as well. I actually may be demonstrating the same stitch because the woven stitch seems to be a real stinker for a lot of people and giving people some trouble. So I actually may go around, show how to do the corners for the low front ridge and the woven stitch for that demonstration as well. So if you want to join and chat with me on that, that would be great. I can't guarantee this, but I'm going to talk to Jackie to see if she can give me some giveaways for that as well. That always makes it a lot more fun when I have something to give away to you all. So let's see what we got. I just want to continue greeting you guys because you are the main reason why I do this. We have Alana. Thank you for joining us, Alana, and Ginger from beautiful Idaho. And Cindy And Tina from sunny Chicago. Enjoy it while you can, right, Tina? Because you know that's not going to be for long. Even here in South Carolina today, we've got some remnants of a hurricane, so we're getting not hurricane weather at all, but just the kind of the dregs, you know, the rain from it right now. So if the lighting is a little off today, that's why. Um, let's see, we have Wanda Gordon. Wanda, where'd that comment go? Everything jumped on me. Oh, we got a lot more people. I'm so slow. um, Wanda from Bahama, North Carolina. So I've been watching and decided to join the chat. Hope you and everyone are doing well. Thanks for all you do. God bless. Thank you, Wanda Gordon. I so appreciate that. Neighbor, I need to look up to find out where that is in North Carolina. I don't know if that's on the east side or the west side or in the middle of the state. Um, but I don't recognize it. It must not be along the coast because we go up and down 95 so much and know all the names of those towns. But anyway, thanks for joining us. And Discovering Hope says greetings and fellow hookers, a bright and sunny day in Rochester, New York. Blessings to you all. Well, thanks for joining us. And Patsy from Illinois, thank you for joining us. And we have Brat's mom from Southwest Chicago suburbs, and Celine and Tinike. She says she's home and can watch. Thank you. Thanks for spending your time with us. This is going to be fun today. And we have Brenda from New Hampshire, Barbara. It's good to see you in the chat, Barbara. And Camille from Washington, D.C. Hey, you're not far from where I'm usually living, Camille. Hope you're staying safe with all this stuff going on around there. And Brad's mom says she just received my Leisure Arts book from you. I love it. Well, great. You know what, Brad's mom, I'm going to go ahead and, last week I just kind of blew through a lot of stuff and got real excited about the giveaways that I actually forgot to show you what was inside the book. Boy, if I was an advertisement person, I'd be fired. But anyway, I just wanted to give you a quick look. This is one that I did for Leisure Arts, I think about 2 years ago. And I really had a lot of fun doing this. This was using all self-striping yarns. They asked me, do I have designs that, would be appropriate for self-striping yarns? And I'm like, sure, I'll find something. Whenever Leisure Arts approaches me to say, I want you to do a leaflet for us, I don't know how to say no to them. They were the folks who first got me started in publishing more than 10 years ago. So anyway, I'm going to just show you some of the pictures. This is a baby blanket. This is all self-striping yarn in this leaflet. And these booklets are now in my Etsy store. If you're ever looking for like a special gift for the holidays, if you want one with an autograph or a signature or something from me on it, I do sell my books. I don't upcharge them or anything. I try to keep the prices reasonable so that they aren't any more than what you buy in other places. Just look in the video description below, and my link to my shop is there. And I've added this and another one I'm going to show you. But here's something I love making, are backpacks. And what's really fun with this self-striping yarn is that you don't have to hide a ton of knots when you're changing colors. It just does it for you. And the ropes that I use here, you pull those to tie, and they also serve as the shoulder straps. And you can use whatever material you like on those, but the nylon, what do you call it, paracord material is fantastic for that. And my first backpacks I ever did, I actually used large hemp, which works pretty well. But the nylon, they didn't have as much paracord back 10 years ago, but now that they do, they have all kinds of color, and they have cotton cord you can use too. And the great thing about the paracord with that is it washes really well with the garment and everything. And you can always, do a cotton, let me show you, do a cotton lining inside the bag, which is what I do so the stuff doesn't fall through the cracks, with the crochet stitches. And I like to always put lots and lots of pockets inside my lining so that I have lots of fun places to hide things. And the trim with some wooden beads is always fun for me. You just can't get the 60s out of the girl, This has a cowl and hat pattern. And I'm going to give you guys a preview because you guys are my friends here. This is going to be coming to my channel soon. I'm going to be doing a tutorial for this baby blanket. It's using the Lion brand Mandala. It's a DK weight yarn. I'm going to use a different color than this because I thought it would be fun to change up the colors a little bit. But it's going to be self-striping. It's similar to the Celtic mandala throw, but yet different. Very different stitches. Some of the stitches are the same. Some of the stitches are different. So anyway, that is something to come. I can't give you a date just yet, but that's coming soon to my channel. And if you want the pattern for that, though, the only way to get it is through the book because I don't own the rights to this. Once I sell my rights to Leisure Arts, then, you know, I don't have ownership of the patterns. So here's a really nice stole shawl, kind of a wrap. You can use it as a big, like a super scarf or as a stole. And here's a Celtic weave cowl. But just changing it up with this yarn was so much fun. Okay, here's my favorite. You ready? This is the favorite one in my book. It's a poncho, of course. Like I said, you can take the girl out of the 60s, but you can't take the 60s out of the girl. I'm a huge poncho fan. Any of you all that have followed me for any period of time, you know that. And here's a shoulder wrap. And you may recognize some of the stitches that you already know and love. I know and love, but anyway. So those are just some of the things. Here's a picture of the back. And these let me get my glasses here to be sure. Okay, these retail for $9.99 in the U.S. Canada $11.99. And I believe the digital download is, I think, $7.99 off of Leisure Arts. These are not available at Amazon last time I checked, but they are available on the Leisure Arts website. I think I have the link, the proper link in the video description below. If not, they are available in my online Etsy store. Okay, one other thing that I forgot to share. I promise I'll get to your comments in just a second, guys. You know how slow I am. This is actually the second thing I ever published. This was over 10 years ago, and this is still my bestseller with them, which is kind of fun. And it has 4 different sets of hat and scarf combinations. This one is also, okay, this is $9.95 in the U.S., $11.95 in Canada. That's the retail price. These are available on Amazon, I'm pretty sure. And this, you may have one similar to this. They just redesigned it, but the patterns are all the same. So if you have the older version of this, this is exactly the same. Let me go ahead and give you a better picture of some of these. And you all have seen these stitches before. This is a very beginner-friendly basket weave set. And this is a lot of fun. This is the double stitch, which is the single crochet, double crochet worked side by side. And these are quick and easy. Most of these work up using your worsted weight yarn. You could maybe even use the yarn in your stash for a lot of these. And this is an interesting one. Using the was that a braided cable, I believe? All right, and I think that's it. So anyway, that's also in my online Etsy store, but you can also get this at Leisure Arts, Amazon. Michaels carries it in some places. So anyway, this is an oldie but goldie. This is, you know, this is one of the reasons why I'm doing what I'm doing now, because it actually, the sales of those for many years, I was a stay-at-home mom for more than 25 years and doing schooling and everything with the kids and caring for my mom. And so I didn't really have a way to bring in an income. So that's kind of what happened is I thought, you know, I submitted some of these 10, 12 years ago and got a couple contracts. I thought, ooh, well, that's pretty cool. So the sales from a lot of these over the years It didn't by it didn't cover all the college tuition, I promise you. Crocheting is not that lucrative of an industry, and certainly publishing isn't now, because it's it's on the decline with all the rise in the digital age that we're in. But that went a long way to help us pay for many college bills for our kids. So for many years, that was the only way I could bring in income. So a lot of that went right from the check right to a bill to help pay for college and other necessities. So thank you guys, and for all the all the who you are, those who've been supporting me and being really gracious for so long. So that's kind of where the start was. That was the seed to getting what I'm doing now to grow. So we've got a bunch of comments here now. Let's see. I'm slow, guys. You know that. Okay, we have Brenda from New Hampshire. And let's see, Camille, I saw that one. Okay, we have Pat Dancer. She says, hi, Ladybug. And we have Brandon. She says, good morning from a fabulously gray and fall-like Alabama. Ooh, yeah, I think we're having similar weather here. Or if you've not got, no, yeah, we are, because we're getting the rain that you've probably already had, Brandon. We have Sincerely Yours joining us for the first time. And Celine wants to know, how am I? Very blessed and doing far better than I deserve, Celine. That's the best answer I can give. Blessed beyond what I deserve, for sure. We have Mary Ann's Crochet Hands. She said, okay, is it Drea? And we have Abigail from the UK. Helen from the south coast of England. Jamie from Michigan. And let's see, I just love seeing these places. Tina from Chicago. And we have Michelle. Is it Mary Lou? Looks like she's from Italy. I'm going to have to look up your comment with Google Translate a little bit later. But thank you for joining us from Italy. Believe it or not, Mary Lou, a year ago yesterday, I was in Italy. I wish I could go back. It was that trip where I was with my husband, and that was actually a real vacation. It was the first trip that I think that we had taken since we've been married that was overseas, and that was not business related. So that was fabulous. We were driving through a little corner where we drove a little bit into Italy, and then a little bit into France, and then back into Switzerland again. I'm getting that all mixed up, but it's just a little corner there, and it was amazing. Driving through the Alps. That was what we were doing. My husband gave me a choice. He said, we can either take a train to Paris or we can drive through the Alps. And I didn't even have to think about it. I love Paris, by the way, but it's like, I want to see the Alps. I just want to drive with you through the Alps. And that's what we did. And that was the last time we were really away. But anyway, we have Joni, Michelle from Indiana, Kathy from Ontario, Tammy, it was great to have you in the chat. And we have Sherry, I have Swati. Hey, Swati, I'm so sorry to be so late. I hope you and your folks are doing well. Your parents are on my mind. I just want to let you know that, and in my prayers. And she says, hello from Smoky, LA. I hope you can breathe better there. I hope the air quality is getting better, and hope those fires are getting under control. We have Ann Butler, Joe from the Netherlands, and we have another Bonnie Bunting from Chicago. Like your name, Bonnie. I wonder, we should get together sometime. I wonder if the kids sung all those horrible childhood songs to you like they did to me growing up. Let's see, we have Sandy from Tucker, Georgia. Ooh, you're south of us. That's not too far south, I don't think. And Lydia, she says, first time joining. Well, thanks for joining us, Lydia. And Sadine and Michelle from Montana. 60-mile-an-hour winds expected today. Oh, good goodness. Take care on that. Okay, we have Josefina from Santa Clarita. And Laurie, Marva wants to know how we're all doing. Hopefully everybody's doing well. And Nadine from India. I hope I said that right. Thank you. Wow, that is so far away. And Milani from Ohio, and Ann Massey from Nashville, Tennessee. Well, you know what? Let me see. What else do we have going on today? I wanted to make mention of something before I continue here. Last week we started something called Super Chat. And I don't know if you all are familiar with this. If you've watched a lot of different YouTubers, you probably know all about this. There is a little, at the bottom of the chat, there's a little dollar sign. And what this is, it's a way generally to contribute to creators like me. But I wanted to do something special with that. And I mentioned last week that this month, um, any money donated through the super chat to me, 100% of that. Now listen to this. There were some concerns that there is a fee that all the money doesn't go to me when you do that. I wanted to just put your minds to rest that when I'm doing this, I'm going to be doing this primarily and pretty, well, let's just say exclusively, in order to give back in other ways. So the organization for this month is the Shriners Hospital for Children. And we've talked about that before on this page. And I this is something that's become near and dear to my heart. There are two people in our chat who've been served by this organization. My mother-in-law, who's now 91, she has had multiple surgeries through this organization. And as you know, when families with children who have needs like this are served, it's always free of charge, which I think is fabulous. And so I want to support that. So if you decide, again, never feel pressure from me on this. I know that this is a tough time with COVID-19, and I don't want to ask from anybody if that's not something in your heart. God loves a cheerful giver. I'm not asking you to do anything beyond your means, I promise. But if you do decide to, I don't want you to worry about any fees that I incur, because if you decide to give through this way, 100% of what you give is going to be passed on to the organization that I'm talking about. I will incur any fees or whatever, and I can cover that. That's not a problem at all. I would just be delighted to be able to help other organizations. And if you're worried about it not helping me personally, actually it kind of does, because to be fair and honest with you, I can use that as a tax write-off as well. So either way, I think it's a win-win for me. It's a win-win for those who are giving. It's a win-win for those who are receiving. So, and as just to make this kind of fun, I've got my guitar behind me. I know maybe some of you don't want to hear a silly song, but last week, let me tell you what the total was. Last week, we were able to earn $45.59. That's the total amount donated. That total amount, fees are not taken out of that. I'm going to just pass that on at the end of the month. But if we reach $100 by the end of this chat, I'm going to sing you a silly song. Maybe you guys don't want to hear that. Maybe that's a detraction from giving. But I have a song in mind that would be kind of fun. I think you might like it. It kind of gets into the Christmas season. But anyway, that's just what I'm offering there. So again, take it or leave it. I just wanted to throw that out there, because I do appreciate those of you who contacted me and were concerned about the fees that Google takes out or whatever. And to be fair, there is a lot of what do you call it? There's a lot that has to be set in place in order to do this safely and securely, and that costs money to run. And so I don't want to be people to be down on organizations that charge for services. Even if you buy from Etsy or buy patterns from my store or any of that, there is a small surcharge that I incur for doing business in that way. And that's just the way the world works right now. That's just the normal thing in passing. I'm going to look into ways to maybe do this where there is no charge, but quite frankly, I don't know that there is, and to remain secure with everybody. Oh my goodness. Thank you, Janet. Janet just just contributed a very generous contribution, $20. Thank you, Janet. Um, did I say Janice or Janet? I want to make sure I get this right. Janet, okay. She says, happy to give for your intention. God bless you. Well, thank you, Janet. 100% of that is going to the Children's Hospital. I promise you. So now we're up to, maybe you guys can help me keep track of this. Now we're up to 45. We're up to 65. So if we go over 100, I will bring you that song. You might regret it, but hey. So that was one thing I wanted to mention. Also, this came out this week. You may have seen it on the channel. This is the wheat field cabled caplet. This has an interesting story to it. This originally was going to be published in a book. A friend of mine asked me to make this, and using these are leather enclosures here, leather snaps, which are very easily accessible from the Etsy store that I have listed in the pattern. This is made out of a wool. This particular wool is not especially soft, but it's an outer garment, so it really doesn't matter. But this uses a DK weight yarn, so any of your favorite DK weight yarn would work for this. But this was supposed to be in a book written by my friend and one of my editors, Carrie Bogert, but then things happened with my publisher, and the publisher actually ended up going into bankruptcy. Yeah, I told you things weren't real great in the print world, but this was like a year and a half ago. And then because of that, they decided they weren't going to publish her book, and then it ended up being featured in an Interweave. It was fall 2019 Interweave magazine. So if you are a subscriber to Interweave magazine, you probably already have the magazine and the pattern. So that was the pattern that was in there, and so I own the rights now to the pattern. So I decided to go ahead and do a tutorial. It's the link to that is in the video description, but if you just go to my homepage, you'll see this for the right-handed and the left-handed version. So it is in there. Should you want to make it, and I think it's pretty straightforward. It's an intermediate project. Not for absolute beginners, but I think very doable if you're a confident beginner and you don't mind making a mistake here and there. I think you'll be fine. All right, well, we have Ann Massey. I said Ann. Yeah, we have Pat, dancer. Let's see, Melanie. Okay, I've read those already. I just wanted to catch up here with you guys. Bobby Preston says he's doing well. He says he just finished my daily Bible study a minute ago and lunch just got here. Bobby, enjoy your lunch. It's just been good keeping in touch with you. I'm glad you're doing well. Let's see. Do we have Janet? She says, so glad to finally have caught you live again. And Leanne from the Isle of Wight in the UK. Wow. And thank you, Patsy. She said she enjoyed. Oh, we got another $4.99. You guys are going to make me do the math, huh? Thank you, Deborah Cowan. Says, my father was a Shriner in this organization. Oh, it's very near and dear to my heart. Well, thank you. So we're up to $70 now. Yay. Thank you so much for doing that. I promise you every penny is going to go to them. Whoa, hold on a second. I just hit the wrong button. Hey, Hannah, I just saw you in the chat. Thank you for being there for us. I'm going to back up a little bit. We have, I am so slow, guys. I just don't want to miss out on any of what you're saying here. Swati says, thank you for your prayers. Smoke is getting better. My father is still recovering, and my mom is still safe. Yes, so far so good. You'll know, I'll keep you posted. Thank you for letting us all know. And there are some comments there that I can't read because I don't know the language, but I will take a look at those later and look them up so that I can be sure to understand what you said. I think I saw a question there. Oh, say Lynn. Lynn's in the chat. Hey, Lynn. And, oh, we have Ginger. Thank you, Ginger. Let me go take a look at that. We got some more. Okay, Ginger just donated $4.99. She says, I was Job's daughter and have done a lot of work for Shriners. Keep up the good work. Thank you, Ginger. And we have Kelly. So is that 70, 75? Oh, we're up to 95, guys. Looks like I might be singing soon. We have Kelly Lee. Brandon just pushed us over the top to 100. Thank you, Brandon. Said the Shriners have done so much for children everywhere. Such a wonderful cause. Thank you, buddy. All right, guys, I got to stop everything. Hannah, get your earplugs out, hon. I know this isn't your fun thing to hear mommy sing. And for the record, guys, ugh. Thank you. But for the record, I am not a singer. I sing for children usually at church, and that's usually behind closed doors from the adults. So, but anyway, we do like to have fun. So this is all in fun. This is a song I wrote for CGOA last year, and it's to the tune of Feliz Navidad. So if you want to look crazy like me, you can go ahead and sing along with me from wherever you are. If you're at work, you might not want to because you don't want to get fired, but this is in answer to the question that whenever you're in public crocheting, what's the one question that people ask you? What are you knitting? So we wrote this little song. So next time you're in public somewhere crocheting and someone asks you this song, ask you, what are you knitting? I have a song. You can just embarrass yourself. It's always fun to do that. And sing them this song. You ready? No, it's not knit. No, it's not knit. No, it's not knit. This is a hook and it's called crochet. No, it's not knit. No, it's not knit. No, it's not knit. This is a hook and it's called crochet. I want to ask you to really listen. Really, 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 truly listen. As I've said 100 times before, this is a hook and it's called crochet. No, no es punto. No, no es punto. No, no es punto. Esto es un gancho y se llama crochet. No, no es punto. No, no es punto. No, no es punto. Esto es un gancho y se llama crochet. Want to ask you to really listen. Really, 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 truly listen. As I said 1,000 times before, this is a hook and it's called crochet. As I said 1,000,000 times before, this is a hook and it's called crochet. How was that? That was pretty funny, huh? Pretty silly. I just will say we had a blast doing this at CGOA last summer with my friend Jennifer Ryan. We had everybody taking their car keys out and shaking them as maracas, and hopefully nobody lost their car keys, but it was a lot of fun, and everybody knew all the answers. And so I'll put this over here. So I apologize if you never can hear Feliz Navidad the same way again, but hey, so, and you guys have been giving here. Goodness, Hannah, see Kelly, looks like Janet. Thank you for your generous donation, Janet. She donated $20. Happy to give for your intention. God bless you. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Janet. Thank you, Kelly, again, and just for your generosity. I so appreciate that. So hopefully I didn't chase you guys away with that one. But let's see. It's 12:34. We still got some time. Got a lot of comments here. I am not going to get to them all, but ooh, Kendra from Mexico. I'm sorry if I butchered that with the Spanish, but thanks for joining us, Kendra. And okay, so I've got a lot of comments here. I am just so woefully behind, but let me go ahead and try to catch up. Um, okay, although, okay, so nice. Thank you, Janet, for your comments too. I so appreciate that, Janet Lepre. Um, and Angela says she likes the baby. I love that baby blanket. I'm about to start one for my coming granddaughter. Well, good. It has actually that leaflet has actually 2 baby blankets in it, which is kind of fun. Let's see. I'm just gonna skip on down. And is it Elsa? Thank you for joining us, Elsa. And Maureen from hot and dry Colorado. And Debria. And let's see who else we have. You guys are so kind. Look at that, talking to each other, just encouraging one another. I so appreciate that. It's just such a good example for all of us. And Lashira says, I'm sad, Bonnie. It's not possible to send one of your books to Europe. Could you look up that for us Europeans to order them also too? You can try looking on Amazon, but for some reason Amazon's not carrying the self-striping book anymore. I'm not sure why. But Lashira, I'm sorry. If you want to contact me, bonniebay@me.com, and tell me where you're from. We can just privately communicate, and I can look up the shipping to see how much that would be, and we can talk that way. I just know that it's really, really expensive. But if you want to just contact me, and we can just look at the numbers and see what it is, and I'll just look up to see what it says on the U.S. Postal Service site, and see what we can find out. I'm willing to work with folks, but I just can't do that through the automated Etsy page and everything, because it just won't work. Let's see. Thanks for your sweet comment, Lynn Guider. That you're always so sweet. I so appreciate your comments. Okay, so let me go down here. Oh yeah, Hannah. Yeah, Hannah was talking with Bobby. Hannah finished her first week of school on Zoom this week. Yay, Hannah. And she's studying to be, I hope it's okay to say this, Hannah, she's studying to be a certified nursing assistant. I'm real proud of her. This is something she's been doing in our home for years, and also here helping Mrs. Barker. So really, if you think of Hannah, pray for her. Being in school is hard because it's a compressed class, and she's having to do a lot, and kind of like a long way to go in a short time to get there, as the song used to say. We have Kelly Lee. She says, hi, Bonnie from Spokane, Washington. I love the idea of what you're doing with the super chat. Our grandson just got into Shriners, praying he gets the help he needs. Oh my goodness, Kelly, that's great. Thank you. You're so generous. You guys are the ones who are being generous. Thank you so much. And just to let you know that any sales from, I have a baby blanket in my store, and some people have purchased that already. The heirloom cable baby blanket, the one with the 2 different shades of pink. All proceeds go to the Shriners from the sale of that baby blanket. Oop, we just got something. Another one just appeared. Let's see. Thank you, Kelly. Thank you so much. Kelly just donated $20. I don't know if that's reappearing or another one. That's so kind of you. Thank you. So anyway, I'm trying to do what we can, and if you've ever, let me tell you something else. If you've ever purchased this booklet from Leisure Arts or from Michael's or anywhere, you've helped me to donate to. I always donate a portion of this to, and also Aaron Afghan's, to Rancho 3M. It's a ministry that's also near and dear to my heart. My daughter Becky and I spent like 8 days working down there in the summer heat, which was in the hundreds. It was pretty amazing. I'm down there in outside of Guadalupe, Mexico, which is probably one of the poorest places I've ever been to in my life. Um, it was really enlightening. It was a great experience for us. I still remember the tarantula on the floor where we were sleeping, about this big. He didn't last long, but we always wondered where his buddies were, you know. um, Very hot. Wore a cowboy hat the entire week just to keep from sunstroke. Um, but it was great, great, great people, great cause. Lots of kids down there being served by Rancho 3M. So that'll probably be what I'll do for next month, but I don't know. We'll see. I'm sticking with Shriners right now. Um, and Jan has a good question about the caplet. She says, would it be possible to close the caplet without the snaps? Actually, my original design did just that. I mean, you could actually, bring this over a little bit and just put buttonholes. I mean, you could certainly do that if you wanted to. And it would be very easy just to add extra stitches here in order to do it, or even just make this a little bit, this area a little bit wider should you choose to. But the leather snaps are very accessible on Etsy. They're very economically priced. In fact, they're so economically priced. When I was buying them, I ended up buying 5 sets of 5, thinking that I'd had to buy each one individually because the price was so reasonable. And I ended up with 5 sets. So, yeah. But I'm planning on using those for other future designs. All right. Oh, Lynn, sorry to hear about your aunt who's she says he's dying. Sorry about that, Lynn. Well, you have to remember to pray for you when I'm done here. Let's see. Oh, let's see. Oh, we have, is it Bermetta Parker? I have not seen that name before. I just wanted to make sure we got a ton of comments. Wow, you guys are so active today. Oh, thank you, Irma. She says my Spanish is wonderful. I so want to learn Spanish. I should have learned Spanish growing up in South Florida. I should have, but I got into music classes. But is it Bermetta Parker? Thank you. Thank you for joining us today. Uh-oh, you guys like my songs, it looks like. May have to do some more for you. Let's see. Da-da. Okay, Liz says she just finished the Celtic mandala. She says, thank you, thank you, thank you. Yay, well, send me a picture, Liz. I would love to see it. If you all ever want to send me a picture, please know that I love to share these on my social media. And when you send them to me, I'm just assuming you're giving me permission to share those. So, and if you don't want me to share them, just let me know. Usually I ask if it's okay, but it would just save me a couple minutes if when you send, you say, please share. That would be great. I love sharing those on my Instagram account, which all that information is in the video description. Instagram, Facebook. I really wish, I don't know if YouTube's ever, I don't think they're ever going to get that kind of a format, which is fine because I think doing this with you is a million times better than just a stale picture, but it's always a lot of fun to just kind of peruse what other people are doing with those photographs as well. So if you ever want to just send them to me, bonniebay@me.com. It's in the video description below, and I will be happy to share those in my social media. Oh, Bobby, I wish you could be here too. He says, wish I could be here so we could play guitar together. That would be great. I could always use a guitar player, then I can break out some other instruments. That would be so much fun. Bobby, you just need to keep practicing, keep getting those calluses on those fingers, and give that about a month. And once you get those fingers toughened up, you'll be able to really go to town. All right, we have Sandra. She said, I'm almost finished with the wild and wavy blanket from my cousin's baby. Yay! Isn't that a fun blanket? I really liked doing that with that color changing yarn. I think I'm going to do another. I have a couple of leftover collections of yarn. I think I'm just going to work it up with that pattern again for some gifts here. And we have Lashira Crochet, yay. Melanie Lewis, she says, welcome to everyone. Hey. And thanks for encouraging my girl, Hannah, Mary. Thank you for encouraging her. She needs it. We all need encouragement, don't we? I was just reading a book last night. I'm going through a book. I don't know if you all are readers. I wasn't planning on talking about this, but reading a book that's 80 years old, and it's just been so refreshing, by a man named Dale Carnegie. You probably have heard of him before, but like Carnegie Hall, well, a man who is very successful working with people. And I just love reading what he has to say, and just, a lot of what he has to say is just basically the second commandment, which is, love others as much as what Jesus says, first of all, love God, but, love others as much as you love yourself. I mean, that's basically what the book is saying, and over again. And it's just been a really refreshing read for me, because like most people in the world, I'm just very selfish, and he says 95% of our time is usually in our mind is thinking about ourselves, which is like, yeah, I can check that box, yeah, that's me. And maybe 5% thinking of others. And just how, if we can just switch that a little bit and just go down with, reduce the amount of time we think of ourselves and just increase the time that we think of others, it's just a win-win for everybody. It's a win-win for us, because we'll be more blessed, and then it's a win-win for those that we're encouraging. You kind of like you guys are encouraging others right now in the chat. It's just a really, really good book. So I haven't read much by him, but really, really, really good book. I'm afraid to even tell you the title, because it sounds almost manipulative, but it's not a manipulative book at all. It's how to, is it win friends and influence people or something like that, but which would be kind of a scandalous title in this day and age, but the words inside are not scandalous at all. It's basically teaching people how to live better, to be happier by thinking of others. And great book. If you get a chance, they're probably in every library, and it's been in publication for 80 years, and they've updated the language just a little bit, but the core of the essence of it is the same from 80 years ago. Great book. My son actually was reading it, and he was seeing results, people being nicer to him by applying some of the principles in it. And in today's climate, where everybody's at odds with each other over the dumbest use of, one word here or there, it's kind of nice to know that there's a way that we can fix that if we really try. And Patricia says she just received her yarn for the fall Afghan. Right now I'm working on your Aaron Moore sweater wrap. Ooh, that's a fun one. Should be done with it in time to join you for the Afghan in October. Well, thank you for doing that, Patricia. And I'm going to use that as a segue into, let's put this, I'm going to put this right here. This is what she's talking about. This is the Afghan that is coming in just a little over a week. Not this Monday, but the Monday after that. This is going to be released. And this is, I'm calling this, well, it sounds really, now that I just said what I said about thinking of others, but I named this Afghan so that people can remember where to find the Afghan. I'm calling it Bonnie's Autumn Cabled Throw. And the reason I'm putting my name in front of that is because I'm going to give you a little preview into what I'm going to be doing for the next year. I'm actually going to be doing like 4 seasons of Afghans. And I'm really, really excited because I just finished the video series for the winter Afghan that's going to come after this. That's not going to be released till the winter. So that's not going to be here till after Christmas in the winter. But if you're looking for the yarn for the winter Afghan, It's going to take 20 scans, and I'm used the paint box acrylic worsted weight yarn. So for those of you who, I know you're just going to look for the sales, like you know, like Patricia did. This one, I believe I'm thinking, I don't want to get confused here. I think it used 17 scans, and I used the Brava yarn by Knit Picks, and the link for that is in the video description. This is 100% acrylic yarn. Of course, you can use any acrylic yarn you'd like. And I used, I believe it was over 4,100 scans. No, hold on, let me try that again. 4,100 yards. Gee, can you imagine a truckload with 4,100 scans coming to your house? Oh, that would be, that's worth a comic strip. But anyway, it's not 4,100 scans. That would probably break anybody. 4,100 yards. So it's approximately 16, I used 16 scans of the Brava yarn. I believe that's 218 yards per scan. But I would recommend getting at least 17 in case you crochet a little bit bigger than me, maybe even 18, just so that you have enough of the same dye lot. That's just what I recommend. But anyway, so my plan, I don't have 2 of them designed just yet, but my plan is to do fall, winter, spring, and summer with a similar design. And that's all I'm going to say. But I'm really excited. I'm really excited about this one. I love the way the autumn afghan came out. Let me go ahead and show this a little bit closer. Okay, so you can see some of the cabling and how it alternates. Okay, this was a lot of fun to do, and at the risk of sounding like I'm bragging, I'm really not trying to brag, but it was fun and it was relaxing. Now the one coming out in January is something completely, I mean, it's a little different, but I think I alluded to this several weeks ago. It's one of the most fun afghans that I've done in a while. And I used some new cabling that I've never done before. So I'm really excited about the one in January too. And then I'm also, you know, at the beginning, I'm starting now to do the groundwork for the one in the spring, which is going to be using that really pretty bright teal yarn that I showed you several weeks ago. So yeah, I'm always working ahead. I don't like to get behind. But so I told you about that, and I told you about that, told you about that. Okay, again, guys, thank you so much for all your comments. Oh, it looks like somebody else is a CNA. Sherry Van Slikes. Looks like she says, welcome to the CNA Club. She was a CNA for 25 years and loved it. Oh, thank you, Sherry, for your encouragement. That is great. And thank you for your service to all those people, because we know the CNAs do the hardest back-breaking work that, you know, quite frankly, a lot of other people just don't want to do. And Hannah knows that going into that. But, you know, it's just helping people to live with dignity, you know, even in the most awkward situations. And I tell you, there's going to be a special place in heaven for people like you doing that kind of work for people. I think I'm going to be up in the nosebleed section. You can wave to me from down near the front there, but thank you for all the ways that you've served people, and especially the elderly, because, you know, we're all, if we're lucky enough, we're going to be elderly someday too. You know, if we are blessed to live that long, and we're going to need that kind of help. And Brenda Young says her granddaughter is going to college to be an ER doctor. This is her last year of high school and has already gotten 8 credits towards her college classes. Well, I hope she can make it through, Brenda. That's quite a tough job. And we've been very blessed by the ER doctors over the years. I still remember one. Her name was Dr. Smith, and she saved my mother's life 16, 17 years ago. If it wasn't for her, I don't think my mom would have lived out as many days as she did. I still remember her just saying, "Stop! Get on it!" You know, and she was yelling at people and getting people on their duties and getting them to do what they needed to do. But she was a nice woman too, but she just knew what she needed to do when she needed to do it, and that's how lives are saved. Um, and Anita says she was a CNA for over 15 years. I highly enjoyed it. I love helping people, and I was a medical assistant for 15 years. Congratulations, Hannah. You are going to love it. Well, keep praying for Hannah, please, Anita. She just finished week 1. She's got about 5 or 6 weeks to go, and then starts the work. So, oh, I'm sorry, Jane. She's like, missing my mom so much today. I'll pray for you, Jane. I miss my mom too. That's why I can't talk about it too much, because it's just too hard to remember. And we have, is it J or JY from Australia? Says good day. Love Australia. Well, let me show you what's coming. It's almost 1 o'clock. So let me show you what is coming on Monday to my channel. I haven't even talked about this at all. It's just something that just kind of happened spontaneously. Do you remember this yarn? I don't know if I ever showed you this yarn before. I picked this up at the store. It's very fuzzy and it feels very nice. And I used my coupon at Michael's, so I got it for $5. And I was able to make a complete shawl with this. Just a simple, I mean, you probably made these before. This is just a simple, basic granny square stitch, but granny square shawl. But with the self-striping yarn, I mean, this was so much fun. And I'm labeling this in my store. This is actually for a limited time. It's not in the store yet. It's not in my Lovecraft store yet, but it will be probably later tonight. For a limited time, it's going to be a free pattern. I'm not sure if I'm going to change that in the future or not, but for you guys, for a limited time, this is going to be a free pattern. And what I love about this is you can use any yarn you want. You don't have to run out to anywhere and buy anything. You can use leftovers and make your own stripes the way you want them. And you don't even need to buy this kind of yarn. This is a number 5. This is the Caron, it's called Latte Cakes. Is it Latte Cakes? I think is what they call it. But anyway, I was pleasantly surprised by this, and I was really happy with the way the stripes came out. But I also had some stuff in my stash for years, and I didn't know what to do with it. So, and this is a sock weight yarn. Look at that. And I made another one, and it can make a very nice scarf. And this is just the way the yarn naturally self-striped on this. I don't even remember the name of that yarn. It's so old. I don't even think it's available anymore. And this is some sock yarn that I had in my stash. This is just one. Let's see. The shawl that I showed you had about 520 yards or so. These sock yarns have like around 400 yards. But, this is just the perfect size, to just, tie it up as a scarf. Just tie it up and go. If you're looking for a scarf that's decorative, and also it will keep you warm. Before you put your coat on, it can actually keep you pretty warm. So very, very easy. Once you get started, you know what to do, kind of a pattern. And I just, I've been doing this for, like I said, crocheting more than 50 years. And it's just been really good to revisit the beginnings and just to, sometimes you just want to sit and work on something and you don't really want to have to read a pattern and you don't really want to have to focus on anything. You just want to, get some of the tension out of your day and crochet something up. And so that's basically what that is for. Where did I put my glasses? There we go. All right, so, okay, Anne's wanting to know what the pattern is. I'll go ahead and say the title of it. It's not in my store yet, but it's coming, and the complete video tutorial is coming on Monday. I'm calling it the Easy Beginners Granny Square Shawl or Scarf, because depending on how big you make it, I mean, you can add more to that, and you can make a gargantuan shawl that reaches the floor if you want to. You just keep doing the same pattern, or you can make it a scarf, or whatever. And let's see. And Angela says she's excited about the 4 seasons of Afghan. So thank you, Angela. I am too. I can't wait to get into I'm working on another project that's undisclosed. I can't tell you yet, but I've got a couple things before I get to it. But I just want to make sure before I get to that spring Afghan design, I want to be really sure what I want to do there. I want it to be really, really good. So I'm really excited about that. Want to keep you guys interested in crochet for the rest of your life. Yeah, the color of the second one, Jan, I don't remember the type of yarn, but it was one of those balls of yarn that I bought at a yarn store. I don't even remember where, and I don't even think they make it anymore. I think it was discontinued yarn when I purchased it. But anything that you have, and a lot of these color gradient yarns where it changes color slowly, that would be really fabulous, I think, with the granny square scarf. All right. So let me. I wanted to read something to you all before I sign off, as usual. And let me go ahead. See. Oh, we have Priscilla. She says, "Thank you for your videos. I have difficulties reading patterns, but I follow along with your videos just fine. You're awesome." Did you hear that, Hannah? She said, "I'm awesome." Thank you, Priscilla. Oh, thank you for your sweet words. I so appreciate that. And don't worry, I've got enough issues. I taper that back. I know I'm not really awesome, but but it's so much fun to see that. Always, every time I see someone say that, I'm like, can you tell my kids? But they've lived with me a lot longer than anybody else, and they know what's really there. So there's no fooling them. And Sandra says, yeah, she says, "Awesome, Bonnie, on keeping us in crochet till the day we die." And I'm hoping that's not anytime soon, Sandra. And Jan says she has some deep teal from Red Heart that will work. I'll send a picture when done. That sounds great. And thank you, Tanike and Lynn. Yeah, you guys are just so encouraging. Well, I wanted to read a couple of my favorite verses, because as you know, all of life is not all, puppy dogs and kitty cats and crochet projects. That sometimes stuff happens, and we're still in the pandemic, but still we're not alone as we go through the pandemic. That's the best news that I can share with myself, because I need to be reminded of this constantly, and I want to share this with you. So these are the words of Jesus, and he says, "Come to me, all who labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and lowly in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light." And I can't improve upon that. This is from Matthew chapter 11, verses 28 through 30 of the New Testament. But for those of you who maybe didn't grow up on a farm, like I didn't grow up on a farm, and maybe you've never yoked oxen before, I never have, but I've read about it, and I've heard about how the yoke is like the wooden bar that will join two of these amazingly huge animals called oxen together to go plow out in the field. And what's really cool by studying the scriptures is this particular yoke, is not, it's for us. And Jesus says, "My yoke is easy and my burden is light." And with the imagery, the idea that, we are working alongside Jesus. and we are yoked to him. Now, a yoke also represents being in submission to, or, because obviously the oxen on a farm are not free to do whatever they want to do. They have a purpose and they have to work, but that work fulfills their mission for, who they are and everything. But I just remember hearing teaching years ago about this, and how this is not just any old yoke you go out and buy at Walmart or at the grocery store, but this is one that's designed and crafted for us individually. And I just think that is just so cool. So just how, each of you in your own lives are in your place where you're supposed to be. And everybody's life is different. We've heard from people in the chat who are certified nursing assistants. Some people are nurses. Some people, are truck drivers. They have their own thing that they're supposed to be doing. But just the whole idea that, we are hooked, linked together. We, as believers, if we trust in Jesus, can be working side by side by him. And I think that is just the coolest imagery. So just, and just that he says that his yoke is easy and his burden is light. And burdens, are things that you carry, of course. And no, burdens are never, they're not, they entail work of some sort. But the idea that my yoke is easy, my burden is light, has just gotten me through a lot. And it's also helped me to remember that if I'm carrying something that feels extremely heavy and it's more than I can handle, then maybe it's not a burden I'm supposed to be carrying. So anyway, not trying to get my preach on. I just wanted to, I just remember years ago hearing about the yoke thing, and that really helped the city girl, or the suburban girl, really understand farm life a little bit better through the scriptures. But, well, it is after 1 o'clock, and I've just had a wonderful time talking with you all. And Hannah, thanks again for hanging with me, hun, and for helping to keep us all safe in the chat and encouraged. And thanks again for all your comments. I'm sorry if I didn't get to yours today, but I will go through that once this video renders. And thank you so much again for all of you who helped us go over the $100 mark. I'll give you that exact total next week, but that's going to be shipped off to the Shriners Hospital for Children. Thank you so much for helping me to help others. And let's keep on doing this, and as the Lord provides, and as you feel in your heart to give. So, well, until next week, I'll talk to you all later. And don't forget, the shawl is coming on Monday. God bless. Bye-bye.